Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association. And if you have a news topic or event that you would like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 970-677-4119. Today's show runs Monday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is July 9th, 2018, and now the news at noon. From the Journal, rain in the San Juan Mountains continued to put down the Burro Fire east of Dolores this weekend, resulting in a gradual drawdown of fire personnel and an increase in the level of containment. As of Sunday morning, only 27 personnel were assigned to the fire, down from 45 on Saturday. Containment was raised up to 50%, up from 40%, and the fire's footprint remained at 4,593 acres. Public Information Officer Kathy Russell said afternoon rains gave the area a good soaking on Thursday and Friday, and Saturday's rains left the area muddy and puddled. Trees were dripping wet, she said, and no smoke was visible. The weather has been favorable for firefighting efforts ever since temperatures started cooling down earlier this last week. Fire officials have determined that the fire no longer posed a threat, but crews will continue to monitor it, Russell said. Officials are prepared to ramp up personnel quickly if the weather should turn hot and dry. Although rain showers Thursday through Saturday came with lightning, Russell said the lightning didn't seem to have caused any more fire activity. Firefighters always leave exposed places at the first sign of lightning, according to a press release. Burro Fire crews have finished building a contingency line down to Colorado Highway 145, and the San Juan Hotshots, who spearheaded that effort, have left the scene, Russell said. Out of the remaining personnel, several spent Saturday removing firefighting equipment from the area and taking it to the U.S. Forest Service District offices in Dolores, which now functions as the Public Information Office. According to the release, all equipment must be inventoried, cleaned, and shipped to the Rocky Mountain Interagency Support Cache, which supplies wildland firefighting efforts across the West. On Saturday, there were about 45 firefighters working on the Burro Fire, but Russell said about 20 left on Sunday. Some of them were members of the Interagency Incident Management Team and were required to depart after working 21 days on the fire. Other personnel plan to continue clearing and widening containment lines. Remaining crews will continue to mop up smoldering areas and watch for hot spots. Russell would not provide an estimate of what would be considered an acceptable containment level, stating that factors including the weather, fire lines, the availability of dry timber, and elevation affect a risk assessment. The bottom line, if our firefighters felt that the community would be at risk, there would be more firefighters up there, she said. Fuels are getting wetter and wetter every day. Infrared mapping flights have ceased because of the fire's lack of activity and the need for aerial firefighting resources elsewhere. Russell said that even though the fire is laying low for now, it's not dead yet. These kind of big fires tend to smolder for a very long time, she said. Ben Moyer, meteorologist with National Weather Service in Grand Junction, said these recent storms came from the northeast, while true monsoonal rains come from the south. Yes, we are grateful for the precipitation we have received, but we haven't really had a direct long-term tap into the tropics yet, Moyer said. He said monsoonal patterns have established themselves over southern New Mexico and in the west as far as Las Vegas, Nevada, but they have not yet worked their way to Colorado. The coming of monsoonal activity in southwest Colorado varies from year to year and can start anywhere from late June to late August, Moyer said. This year, he said, monsoonal patterns are expected to emerge later this month. The rain hasn't driven away the drought or decreased heightened fire danger in the area. Stage 2 fire restrictions remain in effect throughout the San Juan National Forest. The Hermosa Creek Wilderness and the Colorado Trail between Molas Pass and Junction Creek are still closed, and Russell said she doesn't know when they will reopen. From the Journal, photo Jim Mimiaga and the Historical Society. For the first time since the 1950s, Montezuma County will have space for a museum, and this time it's an entire building. The Montezuma Heritage Museum will be at 35 South Chestnut Street and is expected to open this winter, said Ann Brown, president of the Montezuma County Historical Society. The 4,800 square foot building was donated by the Montezuma County Board of Commissioners to the Historical Society under a no-charge lease. The Historical Society will be responsible for paying utilities of about $7,000 per year. The space was previously the home of County Social Services, which recently relocated to a larger office. It will be exciting to see this happen. A museum is something our community has needed for some time, said Commissioner Keenan Ertel. The museum will include display areas, research and education rooms, a community meeting room, and storage. The genealogical archive of the Montezuma County Daughters of the American Revolution will also have a space at the museum. The single-floor building has energy-efficient geothermal heating and cooling system, accessible bathrooms, and parking for visitors. On Monday, the lease was signed and the keys were handed over. "We are so proud now we can tell the story of Montezuma County for the locals and visitors," Brown said. "It will be staffed by volunteers, and there will be a small fee to help cover expenses. The plan is to have a small store at the museum to sell locally made goods, books, and memorabilia to help raise money for operations. The Historical Society will seek grants to help pay for operations and do renovations. Local fundraising has improved since the announcement was made about the new location. The community has stepped up," Brown said. "A capital campaign and outreach program are being planned to help finance the museum long term. A community dinner will be held in August to raise money and gather local input on what people would like to see displayed in the museum. A date is pending. The museum will feature the history of the cultures and groups of the area, including the Ute Mountain Utes, pioneers, and Hispanics. The region's agriculture, logging, mining, and irrigation railroad history will also be highlighted. The county's historic collection currently is being stored at the Lake Vista Grange Hall. Volunteers, curators, and archivists have been sorting and cataloging the collection in preparation for display. We're also gathering collections and display cases spread around the county," said curator Joyce Lawrence. Some of the stored historical items include an 1890s horse-drawn seed planter, a huge bellows from the blacksmith shop, and a wooden World War II propeller. There are classic farm relics, original maps, dinosaur fossils, historic war memorabilia, and an old Victrola. The collection includes volumes of old photos, relics, and documents of Montezuma County history. There are family and business histories, newspaper archives, and pioneer innovations such as a button maker and early electric washing machine. The collection also has artifacts from the ancestral Pueblans, including pots, matates, manos, and arrowheads. The Historical Society Board meets the second Tuesday of every month. The next meeting will be held at the new museum location on July 10th at 11:30 p.m. For more information, visit the Historical Society website, historicalsocietymontezuma.org, or call Ann Brown at 970-565-2747. From the Journal File Photo. The Montezuma County Commissioners are getting pushback on their assertion that certain roads and trails running through the San Juan National Forest are under the jurisdiction of counties. In a June 17th resolution based on historic maps, the Board of Commissioners claimed 17 roads and trails under the RS 2477 statute dating to the 1866 mining laws establishing early travel routes. The resolution states the routes existed before the forest was formed in 1905 and therefore are under the control of counties where they lie. The Commissioners decided to cast a wide net in their resolution and included trails and roads in Montezuma, Dolores, and San Miguel counties. The National Forest has a process for counties claiming historic RS 2477 routes. They require a legal claim in federal court, and the burden of proof is on the county. But Montezuma County Commissioners disagree with the process, arguing that the National Forest should have to prove the roads are not under county jurisdiction. In the past several years, Montezuma County has worked to prove its jurisdiction over the paved Dolores-Norwood Road, Forest Road 526, where it passes through the San Juan National Forest north of the Dolores. They want control over the road to take over maintenance, allow ATV travel, and to drop fees for commercial users charged by the National Forest. The Bear Creek Trail has become a flashpoint for the Montezuma County Commissioners, who see using RS 2477 claims as a way to secure motorcycle use there. As part of a pending travel management plan, the San Juan Forest is changing the Bear Creek Trail to non-motorized use. So far, the Commissioners have not made their road and trail jurisdiction claims in federal court, although they have instructed staff to prepare their case. Meanwhile, Dolores County advises a selective approach. In a June 21st letter, Dolores County Commissioners Steve Garcher, Julie Keibel, and Floyd Cook stated they are, quote, adamantly opposed to being included in the Montezuma County RS 2477 resolution. In a detailed position memo, the Dolores County Commissioners rejected the notion that claiming historic roads just requires citing maps from before the forest. The simplicity of the RS 2477 doesn't exist, the memo states. RS 2477 is open to a variety of interpretations that now appear in conflicts between motorized and non-motorized recreational interests. The memo states that the Mining Act of 1866 granted right-of-way for the construction for routes over public lands, and many were established in southwest Colorado. But the term right-of-way does translate to ownership of land underlying the route. Conflicting interests also drive the question, often revolving around motorized versus non-motorized values. This creates uncertainty about who owns the routes crossing public lands, the memo states. This is where local governments must determine if this is the best use of scarce funding, public funding, to determine if RS 2477 is worth pursuing. Counties that gain jurisdictional right-of-way through RS 2477 also are responsible for administration of the route, which could require a financial commitment. Dolores County asked how big the county staff would need to become to handle management of trails, oversee conflicts, handle logging, mining, and hunting usage, and provide permits and law enforcement. As a remedy, the Federal Quiet Title Act allows private parties and states to adjudicate a disputed title to real property in which the United States claims an interest. While Dolores County commissioners support historic access and uses on public lands, choosing specific routes to fight for is important. Documentation is more than a map, they say, and making the legal claim is time-consuming and costly. We do not want our grandkids to see and do what we did, the commissioners stated. Instead of trying to litigate them all, it would be best to choose trails that have good documentation, lack of private ownership, can be surveyed, and fight to maintain the public right-of-way on those, end quote. The Dolores County Commissioners urged that counties work with federal agencies on roads and trails, quote, near and dear to our constituents, be open to all users, and not deceive ourselves that these routes will just be given to us, end quote. In an email to the Montezuma County Commissioners, Derek Padilla, Dolores District Ranger for the San Juan National Forest, outlined issues with the county's RS 2477 claims in the resolution. He said current road and trail alignments are not consistent with historic maps. Some historic routes are listed as private or secondary before the San Juan National Forest was created, so other evidence would be needed to substantiate that these two were public highways. Padilla further states that many of the routes dead end on historic maps, representing a problem for legal RS 2477 right-of-way claims since the route has changed or been added onto the National Forest by the National Forest. If the information relying on maps is the only county proof that the roads and trails qualify for RS 2477 status, then, quote, the basis for the resolution is insufficient, Padilla wrote. And now, let's take a look at the weather. National news from NOAA. This week's precipitation forecast features continued rain and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast, showers and thunderstorms in the Four Corners region due to increasing monsoonal moisture, and a round of rain in the Midwest today, with more rain chances in the second half of the week. Though Tropical Storm Chris is not forecast to make landfall in the U.S., outer bands of rain could make their way into eastern North Carolina with up to 2 inches of rain possible. And a chance of rain in the Pacific Northwest continues for today. The regional update: recent rains as reported aren't actual monsoons as they approached scattered from the north and northeast into our region. However, the monsoons are still expected to hit our area in the coming weeks. Heat will linger across the southwest into the interior west and extend into the northern plains on Monday. Moisture has shifted to our west, so thunderstorm and shower coverage will diminish somewhat. Even so, storms and showers can't be ruled out for the San Juan Mountains and higher terrain across the area today. Moisture returns midweek onwards, bringing a return to more widespread convection, with showers and thunderstorms being common each afternoon and evening. The usual patterns, with potential for lightning, and the precipitation can be heavy in one location and produce nothing just a few miles away. Our local 5-day forecast from DCTV shows today isolated showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m., mostly sunny with a high near 85, south winds around 10 miles an hour. The chance of precipitation is 10%. Tonight, isolated showers and thunderstorms before 8 p.m. Partly cloudy with a low around 60. Southeast winds around 10 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation remains low at 10%. Then Tuesday, isolated showers and thunderstorms afternoon. Increasing clouds with a high near 85. Southeast winds around 10 miles an hour becoming south-southwest in the afternoon. Chance of precipitation still at 10%. And then Tuesday night, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 8 p.m. with mostly cloudy skies and a low around 60. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms continues, mainly afternoon. Partly sunny with a high near 87 degrees. East winds around 5 miles an hour becoming west in the afternoon. Wednesday night, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms again, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with a low around 60. And then Thursday, it drops to a 20% chance of showers afternoon. Partly sunny with a high near 85. Thursday night, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms before midnight, mostly cloudy with a low around 59. And Friday, again, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms afternoon, mostly sunny with a high near 86. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 59. Heading into the weekend, Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 87. Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 58. And now, back to the news. From Colorado politics, the man who will replace Scott Pruitt at the helm of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, at least temporarily, is a former lobbyist who represented a Colorado uranium company. Andrew Wheeler was narrowly confirmed by the Senate as EPA's deputy administrator in April, despite opposition from environmentalists and most Senate Democrats. He will step in as acting administrator today following last Thursday's resignation of Pruitt in the face of a storm of controversy over his conduct in office. Wheeler, age 53, could serve as acting administrator for more than a year without further Senate action. As NPR's Rebecca Hersher noted in a March report, Wheeler has spent much of his career working for less oversight from the agency he will now lead. Between 2009 and this year, Wheeler was a consultant and lobbyist, often representing large energy companies. Says NPR, Wheeler has worked as a registered lobbyist for, among others, a major uranium mining company, Energy Fuels Resources, Inc., based in Colorado. Last year, the company lobbied to shrink Bears Ears National Monument in Utah. Colorado Public Radio's Stephanie Wolf reported last December that the Lakewood-based company, also known as Energy Fuels, Inc., also owns a conventional uranium processing mill and a mine just outside the original boundaries of Bears Ears, and that the company wrote a letter to the U.S. Department of the Interior, which runs Bears Ears, expressing concerns that operations might be disrupted or limited by the monument's original boundaries. Fortune magazine says that while working as a lobbyist, Wheeler worked along with Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke to open part of Utah's Bears Ears National Monument for uranium mining. Bears Ears was established in late 2016 by then-President Barack Obama near the end of his term in office. Its original size was a large 1.35 million acres. The May 25, 2017 letter to the Interior Department from Mark Chalmers, Energy Fuels Chief Operating Officer, says, "We are concerned that the presence of a new national monument literally adjacent to the privately owned land acquired specifically for constructing and operating a uranium and vanadium processing facility could affect existing and future mill operations." The Washington Post reported last December that Energy Fuels Resources did not just weigh in on a national monument through public comment letters. It hired a team of lobbyists at law firm Fagra Baker Daniels, led by Andrew Wheeler, to work on the matter and other federal policies affecting the company. President Donald Trump, whose administration has been promoting expansion of nuclear energy as a means to produce electricity to become more self-sufficient, last December reduced the size of Bears Ears Monument by 85%. At the time, Chalmers issued a statement saying the company has, quote, no intention of mining or exploring anywhere within the originally designated Bears Ears Monument. Wheeler also has represented Xcel Energy, Colorado's largest power utility, which has invested heavily in renewable energies. And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of July 2nd through July 8th. The Sheriff's Office, Dove Creek Fire Department, and Dove Creek Ambulance responded to a structure fire in town. Deputies and Dove Creek Ambulance responded to a motorcycle versus deer accident with injuries. A report of aerial fireworks east of Groundhog Campground was investigated. The individuals were unable to be located. Arrest William Funk of Pleasant View, Colorado, on charges of driving under the influence. Failed to yield when proceeding from stop sign. Subject was transported to Montezuma County Jail. And that concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continuing updates throughout the week. And today's High Canyon Country happenings. This Friday, July 13th, the Women's Small Business Conference is hosted by the Southwest Colorado SBDC from 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Sky Ute Casino Resort in Ignacio. Join the Colorado Small Business Development Center Network and break through to excellence with a day of educational seminars, one-on-one consulting, valuable networking opportunities, and exciting keynote speakers. Tickets are available online at coloradosbdc.org. You can contact your local Chamber of Commerce for a discount code. Also this Friday, the 13th, a Cajun boil with live music by Billy and the Kid, hosted at the State Line Bar and Grill. Come out for great drink specials. Full menu available till 9 p.m. The boil starts at 5 p.m. and music starts at 6:30 p.m. The patio is open, so bring the whole family. And Saturday, High Desert Conservation District is hosting Get in the Know on H2O, which includes a water panel featuring our Colorado's water rock stars. These folks know everything about water in our corner of the state. Also featured at this event is a feedback session with the Natural Resources Conservation Services, or NRCS. Learn about their programs and share what you'd like to see more of. Refreshments will be served. It runs from 2 to 5 p.m. at the DWCD office, 60 Cactus Street in Cortez. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with our YouTube channel, on-demand replays, weather notices, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119. Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available on demand online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. Please like us there and share it with a friend. This has been a production of DCTV for the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Thank you for watching.